Hello friends, a very warm welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to talk about another public sector enterprise which is into the power generation sector. I've been receiving a lot of requests to talk about this company, a lot of doubts about this company as well. So I thought we should take it up as a video. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon to get the notifications of all the new videos which I upload. And if you're still not a part of our Telegram channel, do join today, as every day morning I discuss my view on the markets, which will help you manage your portfolios much better. You can use the link in the description to join our Telegram channel so that you join the correct channel. Now let's talk about NHPC. This will be the flow of our discussion. First, we'll talk about the business model of the company in brief. We look at the stock performance in the last few years. We'll see how has been the growth in the stock and the margins performance in the last few years. We'll discuss why the stock has rallied so much post-COVID. We'll discuss what is the outlook of the management, the capex plans, growth plans going forward. We'll talk about the present valuations. We'll understand the risks of investing in this business, and we'll form an overall view about this company. So this is a public sector enterprise categorized under Mini Ratna company, and this was incorporated way back in 1975. So since then it has been consistently performing in the power sector. This company's main power generation is from the hydroelectric power sector. Right from the concept to construction and maintenance, supply of power, everything is done in-house. So they have presence in 14 states, so it's not concentrated in just one area and 2 union territories. And out of the entire power generation through hydropower in India, 15% is done just by NHPC. So you can understand the scale of operations of this company and the market share. So along with the power generation business, they also do consultancy about this business, and they are also into power trading business. So all these years they have constructed 24 power stations across India, and they have a power generation capacity of more than 7,000 megawatts. Now if you look at the stock performance pre-COVID, it used to be a range bound performance for a very long time, consolidating sideways, but post-COVID, due to the rise in the sentiment which is related to the public sector enterprises, and as this company is into the power generation sector, which is expected to see some heavy tailwinds going forward because of the consistent growth in the economy and movement of this company from the traditional hydroelectric power generation to renewable power space like solar power, all these factors led to a re-rating in the stock, and the stock massively rallied from the earlier zones of about 25 rupees to as high as more than 100 rupees. And in the recent weeks, we have seen some profit booking in the stock. If you look at the financial performance, you have not seen much improvement in the revenue. The revenue continues to be range bound in the last 5 years. So what does this indicate? This indicates that the market has discounted the future earnings now itself, because we don't see a rise in revenue at the moment. If you look at the profits at the EBITDA level, here also you see that they are flattish. There is no significant rise in the profits right now. Margins wise, this appears to be a very high margin business because it is power generation and selling of power. But because this is a capex intensive business, you will notice that the return ratios are lower. The return ratio is just about 8.5% ROCE, and as this is a capital intensive business, the debt is as high as more than 30,000 crores. So for such companies, if they want to scale, first thing is they have to invest the money first, huge amounts of money first, construct a huge project, and then the revenue starts flowing over a period of time. So it takes a lot of time just to recover the project cost itself. Secondly, the business is not so fast scalable as you require money to scale the business. So only if your free cash flows or internal accruals are very strong, it will be easy to scale. Otherwise, every time you want to scale, you have to either raise preferential capital or borrow money from the banks and increase your debt position. So this is the phenomenon in all the capital intensive businesses, not just this power generation business. Another very peculiar thing to notice, as they sell this power to different power utilities across the country, there are generally long delays from these institutions for repayment, which disturbs the working cycle of this business. So on one side, it's a capital intensive business. Secondly, you have problems with managing your working capital as your debtors are paying you slowly. So this creates a hindrance for the growth of such companies. Now, why has the stock rallied in spite of the revenue remaining range bound and the profits remaining flat? Because the market anticipates that there will be a huge demand in power going forward as the economy is growing by more than 7% every year. The next thing is the company is moving from hydro to renewable sector, which the government is also encouraging. The PSUs, which were looked down upon in terms of valuation all these years, that sentiment or that view towards the public sector enterprises has changed, which has led to the re-rating of these companies. And if you see the capex plans of this company, there is huge list of capex every year which they want to do, and the capacity expansions are massive. So all these have been discounted by the stock market, as on date. That is why the stock has moved so much. For example, in the recent times, they have started a project of 300 megawatts solar power plant at Karnisar, which has an investment of about 1732 crores. If you look at the projects under construction, totally there are about 16 projects, both hydro and solar combined, which are of capacity of more than 10,000 megawatts. So this is the size of growth which the company is looking for in the next few years. So after H1 of FY24, if you look at the operational projects, they are about 7,000 megawatts, which are currently already operational. Then under construction are more than 10,000 megawatts. So it is more than 2x the existing capacity. So the capacity is going to more than double from the existing 7,000. Then standalone, if you see, it is about 3,000, then subsidiaries 996, and projects under survey about 900 again. These are the projects which are under clearance. So once these get cleared, they will again move to the construction stage. So about 5,000 megawatts of projects are still under clearance. So totally roughly about more than 15,000 megawatts, which is 2x the present capacity, are in the pipeline. So if you want to talk about the specific capex which they have been doing or they plan to do in the future, this is the trend of the capex which they have done, roughly about 2-3,000 crores earlier, which has gone up to almost 7,000 crores in FY23. And in FY24, they want to spend close to more than 10,000 crores capex. So by this, you understand that the growth plans are good and they are still intact. Now, when you look at the valuations earlier, historically, the stock used to trade at single digit earnings multiple. But post this current rally where the stock has rallied close to 100 rupees or even more than that, the multiples have got re-rated and now it trades at somewhere around 24 times the earnings. So by this, what do you understand? The re-rating which was supposed to happen in this particular sector and this particular type of companies which are the public sector enterprises, that re-rating has already happened. And one more thing to note is that the growth has not yet come, and a part of the growth, I wouldn't say fully, but a part of the growth is already priced into the valuations right now. From here onwards, the re-rating part is already done and the stock price movement may be in line with the growth of the company. Now, what are the risks of investing in this company? In case the government changes any policy, it directly impacts the public sector enterprises and this company. The government often considers OFS in this company also. They have done OFS recently, which is much lower than the present market price, which creates a pressure on the stock price quite often. Then debtor days are increasing. The debtor days are more than 200 days, which have been one of the highest in the history. Then the business of this company gets disturbed by natural calamities. Sometimes there is excess water, sometimes there is shortage of water. Due to this, the power generation output keeps changing, which impacts the financials directly. And if at all, whatever the power consumption demand which we are expecting because of the growth in the economy, if that slows down a bit, that could largely impact the business of this company. So after understanding the business of the company, the growth plans, the valuations part, what is the view on the stock? If somebody is already holding on to the shares from the lower levels, they can continue to hold because the growth plans and the capex plans are still intact and we are positive about the Indian economy as well. But if somebody wants to take a fresh entry at these levels, I don't see the risk reward in our favor. I'm not saying that the price will not go up, it may go up, but the chart is looking a little stretched to me and the valuations from the re-rating perspective are already done. So for fresh entries, one should wait for some correction in such stocks and only then the risk reward becomes favorable. So that's about NHPC. I hope you like the crisp analysis. I have covered only the important points to save your time and convey the right message. If you like it, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want me to make videos on your favorite stocks, don't forget to mention that name in the comment section. Do join our Telegram channel. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.